This training is to give you a better understanding of Google Docs and to show you some of the ways that it can be used to help you with your students in your classroom. So we're going to start out just by opening a Google Doc. You'll start out in Google Drive. There are several ways to get to Google Drive. Once you have your drive open, please be aware that Google Drive changes frequently. So just because the new button is looks like this today doesn't mean that it will look like that tomorrow. So wherever the new button is on the day you're watching this video, find it and click on it. I'm going to work in a folder where I can put some demonstration items. I'm going to click the new button, and my menu choices come down. Google Docs is the first one. I'm going to choose Google Docs, and it's going to warn me that I'm creating this document in a shared folder. That means other people who have access to this folder will be able to see this document too. So that's just the nature of where I'm putting this document. You may or may not get this alert when you open your first one. So I'm going to say, yes, I'm aware of that, create, and share. And this is what my document will look like when it first comes up. The best practice, the best habit that you'll need to get into is to name this document, because it is auto-saved. The minute you open it, it is saved in your Google Drive, and until you change the title of it, it's called untitled document. And I could open my Google Drive and show you all of the untitled documents that I have in there that I have no idea what they are until I go and open them, which is a waste of time. So the first habit to get into is to name the document that you're working on. And so I'm going to practice what I preach and name this document Google Docs training. So what's the big deal about a Google Doc? The first thing that you will realize about a Google Doc is that it is a collaborative document. That means that multiple people can work on this same document at the same time. That may be your students. It may be you and your colleagues. It could be the parents of the students in your class if you set your document so that parents have access to it. But the thing is that several people can work on the same document. That means that real-time changes will appear on your screen as someone else makes them. It also eliminates the need to email this version of this document back and forth. If you have a video that you're trying to share with someone, there are limits to the size of files that can be traded via email. With Google Docs, if I put a link to a video in this document and share this document with one or more people, I don't have to email large files and worry about the limits there. So lots of advantages to the collaborative nature of a Google Doc. Also in GISD, remember that we have Chromebooks, and that's our device of choice. If you are creating things on your teacher laptop in Microsoft Word, first of all, please don't. Please use Google Docs. One of the best reasons is because our students do not have Microsoft Word on their Chromebooks. So if you create something in Microsoft Word and share it with them, even though you can put that in Google Drive to store it there, when they open it, all they can do is look at it. They can't collaborate. They can't add their input to it. They can't click on links that are in it. So for obvious choices, Microsoft Word is going to be the least favorite choice of a way to create documents in Granbury ISD. We're going to look pretty closely at the shared settings of a Google Doc, because that's what sets it apart from a Microsoft Word document. So if you're looking at this document, in the upper right-hand corner, you see the share button. Once you decide what this document's going to be about, maybe you're going to insert a table, maybe you're going to insert some pictures, images. You have all of these word processing tools available across this top toolbar, and I encourage you to investigate what those are. Once you decide what this document is going to be about, the next decision to be made is who is going to have access to this document, who's going to share and work on this document. It could be you and your students. It could be a small group of students. It could be you and your co-teachers. It could be the parents of the students in your class. So you're going to come into the upper right-hand corner and click the share button, and you have some choices. Most of the choices that you're going to look at and consider today, you're going to have to click this advanced button in the bottom right corner to see those. So initially, this document, because of the folder it's in, is set so that anyone in GISD who has the link to it can view it. That's because that's the way I have the folder set. I want you to click on the change button. And these are the choices on this screen that you have as far as giving access to other people for this Google Doc. You can set this Google Doc where it's public on the web. That means that anybody can search for a keyword that might be included in the title of this document and find it. We rarely ever use that setting in GISD just because the things we create and use are usually for a specific audience and a specific group of people, but that choice is certainly available if you ever need it. The next choice is that anyone with the link to this document can have access to it. This still gives you control over that link. You would have to send that link to somebody via email, or you'd have to share it with them another way. But you still have access. You still have control over who sees this document by giving them this link. The next level of access is anyone in Granbury ISD can search for and find this document. It's floating around out there in the GISD domain. Anybody searching for it on any campus would be able to find it. So there might be times when you'd need that, but it's less likely than the others we're going to talk about. The next option here is to set this document where anyone in GISD with the link has access to it. And you may have noticed here that after I decide who has access, I'm going to be able to decide how much access and what they are able to do with this document. One thing to consider here, this implies that the people who are going to collaborate and use this document have a GISD login. Now that includes your students, that includes teachers, administrators. This does not include parents. They are outside the Granbury ISD domain. So for example, if this document is for parents to sign up to bring something to the class party, you don't want to set this document where it requires a GISD login. So you would pick a different access level for that. If this document is only for people who are in your class or on your campus or in the school district, then this is the choice that you would want to choose. The tightest level of security or the least access is if you click that link sharing is off, and you're going to have to add names of people who will share this document. That means if you're sharing it maybe with only 1 or 2 people, you would click specific people, and then you'd go back to the screen before and add their specific email addresses. So for the sake of demonstration here, we're going to choose anyone with the link, and we are going to give them access to edit. That means that I can send this link to my students. I can send it to anyone on my campus. I can also send this link to people outside the district, parents who are going to sign up to bring something or to fill a volunteer spot. So they would not require a login. And I've given them edit access because I want them to be able to, for example, if I insert a chart on this document, and I want parents to sign up for a time slot, then I could put parent name, item to bring, and if I share this, then Susie's mom can type her name in here, and she's going to bring paper plates, and then Jonathan's mom can type in here, and she's going to bring cups and drinks. So the collaborative nature of this document is controlled by how you have the shared settings set.